Just on another matter, this week the former Defence Minister Christopher Pyne warned that China could force a real war in the Indo-Pacific within the next few years. Do you share those concerns?
I do share those concerns. I think we're seeing by the aggressive and assertive actions from China, not only in their military capability, which they're expanding quite rapidly, but also in their diplomatic approaches and the information that they're putting out, some of the cyber attacks and some of the things that I think really go to the heart of how we see our values, the denial of human rights for many people in China. I lived and worked in Hong Kong for a number of years, and I really feel for the people of Hong Kong. So I think we need to be very alert to what China's doing. We need to be very conscious of what the United States is doing. And I think Christopher was quite correct in talking about that the flashpoint could very well be Taiwan.
And what would that sort of war with China look like in this modern age?
Well, in the modern age, we talk about hybrid war. We talk about first, second and third generation, which really finished at the Second World War, where it was massed armies in the field. People now talk about not seeing industrial scale war, but seeing war among the population. So I think we're seeing what is now called fourth generation or hybrid war, where we're being attacked right across the spectrum of capabilities. So the cyber attacks, the information attacks, and all those sorts of things are going on now. And Christopher Pyne was quite correct in saying, I think the major task that we have is to use diplomacy and make sure that we don't get into a kinetic or shooting war. I have some concerns over that. I think the potential is there. The Americans are strengthening up rather their defences, and Admiral Davidson from Indo-Pacific Command is after more money and more capabilities. I'm also concerned that in the relatively confined areas of the South China Sea, the chance of misadventure is very high. Lots of ships, the Chinese Coast Guard now have authority to fire, and so I often think of hot-headed ship's captains bouncing around the night running into each other. So I think we need to be building mechanisms to diffuse that, to look at confidence building mechanisms, but we need to be careful right now. There is tension, and I'm not sure how people are going to react right across the board. What is important though is that we're seeing regional countries stand up to China, the Philippines in recent activities. We're also seeing activities out of Indonesia, and I think very importantly the Quad, India, Japan, the United States and Australia is taking on some strength and suggesting to the Chinese that we're serious about this. And other authors have talked about the fact that we exist at the moment under conditions of strategic ambiguity. And I think the fact that allied nations are standing together puts it to the point where there's strategic credibility and that Chinese need to reconsider.
Plenty of food for thought there for our new Defence Minister, former Australian Army Chief Peter Leahy. Appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today.
Nice to talk to you again, Ash.